Let's talk about why bus and gym recruits are not a big deal in college football 25, especially as a smaller program, man. If y'all enjoy this style of content, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. Got a lot of different things going on my channel right now. The Temple rebuild, we're about to enter year 3, so make sure y'all check all that out, man. All right, so for this, I picked Penn State. I went with their current head coach. And the only reason I did that, so we have a lot of recruiting hours, because I just want to scout a lot of players, and I want to show y'all a bunch of bus and gym prospects. So that's the only reason we went with Penn State here. All right, so like I said, bus for 5 and 4 stars, in my opinion, it's not a big deal, man. It's really not a big deal, especially for a 5-star, man. If you have a 5-star bus, you know, especially if you're a smaller program or even any program, if you like their attributes, go after them at all costs, man. Go after them guys, man. Do not let a bust prospect steer you away from going after them. All right, so first, I'm going to give y'all my best explanation of the difference between bus and gym, in my opinion. Everyone has a different opinion of it, and I haven't heard a right or correct answer because honestly, nobody really actually knows the 100% answer. But pretty much my interpretation of it is, you know, right here, this guy right here, don't not say his first name, but he's the number 10 player in the nation, and we scouted them. He's a gem, and pretty much the gem is a combination of a bunch of things. One, his development trait, he'll have a better than impact development trait. I know that for a fact. We know that for a fact when it comes to gems. I've never seen a gem with normal. They'll have impact or better. And then I also think it has something to do with their attributes. I think it has something to do a little bit with their attributes. And then also, you know, this guy is ranked number 10 in the nation, but really he might be the number 1 player in the nation is kind of how I take it. So his nation rank should be just higher. And then when you have a guy that's a bust, you know, you could consider that his nation rank would be lower. And then if he's a 4-star bust, from my experience, he still may have impact development. Like it's not 100% he'll have normal. I had you know, bus players that come out with impact development. I haven't seen many. I haven't seen bus players with star, but I definitely seen them with impact. So you know, it's not automatically they have normal development, but I think it's just kind of factors in that the development might be a little bit lower than you would expect. So if it's a 5-star bus, he might just have impact instead of, you know, you might expect them to have star. And then also I think his national rank, you know, his actual potential and everything is actually lower than what his national rank says. So I hope that makes sense. And that's kind of my explanation. You know, everyone going to have their own. Feel free to drop your explanation of what you think a bus or a gem means in this game. All right, so first, let's focus on these 2 quarterbacks here. First of all, this guy's named Tyreek, and he's a white dude out of out of West Virginia, but he's named Tariq. Then we got Legend out of Stanford, Florida. And you know, let's compare these two because one is a bus, one is a gem. Legend is the bus, Tyreek is the gem. And let's kind of compare their attributes, man. So they both have 94 throw power. Tyreek, the gem, has 1 higher short accuracy, but Legend, the bus, have 3 higher medium accuracy. And then Tariq has 6 higher throw on the run. And then break sack, Tariq has 12 higher. And then once you look over at the speed, then Legend has 4 more speed and then also 4 more acceleration. And then once you look at their abilities, both of them have 3 abilities. You know, both have pretty much similar abilities because they're both scrambler types. And then Tyreek do have 3 mental abilities compared to Legend having only 2. And if you ask me, I think Legend is the better player when you look at their attributes. And then let's also consider where Tyreek is ranked nationally. He's ranked 57 in the nation. And then Legend is ranked 123rd. But to me, like I said, Legend have the better attributes. But the thing about Tyreek, we know we're getting at least impact or higher development. Now for Legend, he could have impact, but that's kind of where it's maxing out at. But we could assume he will have normal development. But if I'm a 1, 2-star school, maybe even 3-star school, I should definitely pursue a guy like Legend, for me personally. because I think Legend will be under recruited. Because once a lot of schools see a prospect as a bust, they tend not to recruit him the same. So if I'm a 1-2 star school, I'm going to swoop right in, get a guy like Legend. He might only have normal development, but these attributes play. They play right away, in my opinion. You know, this could be a day one starter, and he might not develop super great. You know, he might not turn into a player that, you know, in the high 80s. He might camp out at a 83, 84, but still, for a 1-star, 2-star program, and, you know, his attributes look like this coming out of high school, this is great. We'll take this every day of the week. So, you know, definitely, you know, if you see these busts, especially at small schools, you know, also factor in that this guy might be a little bit easier to recruit because other schools just won't go after him like they would with some of these other prospects. All right, so next, let's just look at the running backs. And I kind of did the same thing. I scouted a bunch of them, and, you know, I only have one bust up here. I only got one bust out of all the running backs I scouted. And running back is interesting because it seems like if they have a pretty good speed, you know, they'll pretty much just be a gem. Especially if you have a power back. If you get a power back with any type speed, they just automatically a gem from what I've seen personally. And, you know, this guy right here, he's probably the best running back out of, you know, all these guys. If you ask me, he's a power back and he has the highest speed out of all of these guys on the list. And then you're also going to have the highest trucking, carrying, all that just because he's a power back. And then look at his abilities, man. His abilities are absolutely crazy. You know, 4 abilities coming out of high school. We'll take that every day of the week. And then also he has some mentals. But, you know, he's going to go to a top school. But this is a guy that I definitely would try to get into the mix with compared to, you know, let's look at the one bust 5-star that we have. To me, you know, don't look great. Agility 93, that plays. You know, he do have sidestep on, what is that, Hall of Fame or Platinum, whatever it's called in this game. His juke move is elite. You know, he looks like a good prospect, man. For a 5-star, he looks like a good prospect. The only knock on him is, you know, his speed is only 90, but 90 speed is still not bad as a freshman because it could go up. It could for sure go up. But, you know, so me personally, I wouldn't go after a guy like this. I would go after the bust, or excuse me, this Jim David every day of the week. And he's the lowest, you know, the second lowest rated prospect out of everyone on our board. And even this other power back, you know, he got 93 speed, which is also elite as a power back, man. Super elite as a power back. So I definitely will go after, you know, these 2 guys rather than, you know, this 5-star bust gem in this situation. All right, so let's look at cornerbacks because I feel like this is the one position where if they're a bust, you might not want to go after. Because from my experience, you know, we only got a few bust prospects on this list. Out of all the cornerbacks I scouted, we're damn near out of points because I scouted so many of them. There's only a few that I found with busts. And one thing I'm noticing is the speed. The speed is always low on these bust cornerbacks from my experience. And the gym cornerbacks, you know, what's the common theme? Speed. Like 99 speed, 99 speed. First of all, these zone cornerbacks are looking absolutely crazy right now. And then also a man cornerback, 98 speed, 96 speed, slot guy. You know, so a lot of these cornerbacks, you know, would that actually turn into be a gym, you know, they just have such high speed compared to, you know, the bus. So that's like the biggest difference I'm noticing with cornerbacks. And I think the same exact thing is true with the wide receivers, man. I've been noticing that same thing with wide receivers. And, you know, a lot of the bus, we go over there. I think I have a few wide receivers actually scouted. But, you know, right here, we got bus guy, 88 speed, 4-star. He's a route runner. Route runners don't have much speed anyway. Then we have a route runner right here who's a gem with 92 speed. And for a route runner, that's good, man. You wouldn't expect that from a route runner. Then we have a deep threat with only 91 speed. He's a bust. And, you know, you might say only 91 speed, but he's a 4-star deep threat. I think you kind of expect him to have, you know, a little bit higher speed, especially being a 4-star. So, yeah, we only got a couple wide receivers scouted, but that's kind of just what I noticed from these bust gyms. And every position got their own thing. And definitely, like, on the O-line, I think that's another position. If you see a bust, don't have that scare you away, man. Even if you bring in a normal development offensive lineman, offensive line seem to really develop in this game. I don't know why, but they seem to progress very well. And, you know, 1-2 years in the Dynasty, your whole O-line is usually like an 80 overall, even if you're a 1-2 star school, from my experience. You know, everyone's going to have a different experience. But, yeah, O-line seem to really progress well in this game. D-line, I question it, man. D-line or my D-line just don't be progressing how I want, but O-line be progressing like hell. And so every position is different, man. And you just kind of gotta notice, what position the bus prospects actually could play at. The attributes actually kind of look kind of good at. And running back, quarterback, safety, some linebackers. Definitely on the O line, I'll say some D line, but tight ends. But yeah, some positions just a no go at bus in my opinion. So just to sum this all up, I'm not saying that bus and gems do not completely matter in this game, because they do matter, especially if you have a bus 3-star. He is going to be a lot worse than a bus 4-star, man. Bus 3-star might not even be able to play on your roster compared to a bus 3-star or bus 4-star might be a starter for you, just honestly, especially if you're going with a 1-2-star school. And once you get later in the process, once you start winning some games and your roster looking good, if you don't want to go after no bus at that point, makes 100% sense, because they're going to come in, with the lower development, and but their overall is still going to be solid. It's more so just seem like the development trait from everything I'm seeing. So yeah, my whole thing is at least consider the bus, especially at the 4 stars when you're with some of these lower schools, man. But if you learned anything from this video, if you took anything away, if you enjoyed watching, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that. But we're on to the next one, man.